morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. And just like that, he's already gone. What's happening, guys?
Wow. Hey, we're here. We're not. Bye.
Opening half a second, deuces.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, I don't know if his internet or maybe he had Comcast and they just took him out. Who knows?
Man.
Or maybe he got abducted by aliens. Who knows?
Hey, you know what? We get a lot of hits on that.
Pags, I saw you on Facebook last night. I know you were at Madison Square Garden. So it really is that much, because to me it does look huge on TV, but you said it's smaller.
It's very, it's a lot more intimate. I tell you, when you go into an arena, when you look up and you, like, that ceiling looks like it's like literally almost just above your head, like you could almost touch it, and it's the way that it kind of comes in a little bit, and the way that they kind of have it set up. So it gives the appearance that it's a much smaller venue when you're looking at it for the first time. And I mean, it opened up in 1968. It's obviously had a number of refreshes. It's kind of interesting how they have like the old arena, and now they have these like long catwalks that they have lots of seating on the catwalk, and you can still look down, and it doesn't interfere with anybody looking, like, from the behind those seats. So it really was a cool kind of venue to kind of see. Like I said, it looks so much bigger on television, and then you got there, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I could touch the ceiling here.
The wide angle lens for the win, huh?
But it was cool.
I feel like that, I've been to New York once, only one time in my life, but I did go out in front of it, and I went to Times Square, those kinds of places, but it looks very majestic. Even the MSG still looks very majestic from the outside looking in, I've never been inside of it, but just on the outside of it, it looks pretty cool.
So it depends on how they show. Like, so I went in through I guess for the lack of a better way of explaining it, almost through the back door. Because so on the backside, it's like it looks very small and round,
right? And
then you go around to the front side, which I had never been in front of Madison Square Garden. I've only ever seen the round side. So, and then I have this whole big front entrance. I was like, oh, this is what I'm so used to seeing on TV,
right?
It's like I've never seen it there like that. So that looks a lot bigger.
Right.
Just because of the way it's done. It has like the digital stuff, so it looks like Vegas and stuff like that, and like that kind of feel in the front.
Right.
Like I said, it was a cool venue. I got to walk around, I got to hang there for a little bit, got to watch the Flyers come out. I have a couple of pictures they showed me on ESPN. I went with the new color. Because I had a Flyers jersey, like the Flyers jersey from this year, and they went with a darker orange than they had in previous years. So I tried to match that, and it looked like I had a really strong tan, like a reddish tan.
I got that feeling too. I was like, man, it's very orange today.
Yeah, so
just Oompa Loompa status, huh?
A little bit. It was very Oompa Loompa. But we got the win. We got the W.
Yep.
I mean, that's the important part.
Yes.
That is something that the Kraken did not do. They have rattled off a couple of rough games, and being outscored 9-2 in the last two, and they have 3 games in 4 days. So hopefully their day off today can get them reset, because we have them here in Seattle on Sunday, or on Saturday rather. And,
I don't want.
Man,
I don't want to hear it, Bo,
because they can't do anything offense.
I don't want to hear it, Bo. I mean, my NBA team is on an 11-game losing streak and just went the entire month of February without winning a game.
My NBA team hasn't won since 2008. So
I don't have an NBA team.
Exactly.
Real quick, Pags, I want to kind of go back real quick, because that night you were at the game, they honored the American players that were part of Team USA. That looked how patriotic was the atmosphere when they were skating across the ice and taking their bows and getting their flowers?
Everybody yelling USA, USA, and stuff like that. So there was two coaches. The head coach and the assistant coach were the coaches of Team USA. They also had two players there, and there was somebody else that was involved. I think the GM of the Rangers was also involved in putting together Team USA. Yeah, it was the one thing everybody at that time was together on. You know what I mean? Because there was a good amount of orange and black in the blue. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of Flyers fans that were up there, which was kind of cool. And I have such a love for New York fans because they know me up there. Like they know me and they love to bust my balls. Like I had a couple of firemen, they were coming up and he tells me this story and then acts like I'm the guy in the story. You know what I mean? So, like for the rest of the night, so I'm acting like the guy, like, so, all right, if you want to act that way, well, I'll be that guy then. You know what I mean? So
let me ask you this, because speaking about the New York fan base, I'm getting ready to go up there to watch the Astros play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium with Frankie, and I'm going to have a full-on Astro garb, and I fully expect to take a lot of trash can ribbing. I already know that I'm kind of going to an atmosphere that I'm going to take. But are they really cool about it, or do they get kind of ugly about it?
Yankees fans are different. Yankees fans are very they don't know where the line of fun and rude is.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you that when I went up to Yankee Stadium, first off, nothing beats the original Yankee Stadium. This Yankee Stadium is not anywhere near as good.
No, it's right.
It's not the old Yankee Stadium. And Yankees fans think of entitled white women, Karens that have trailer trash mouths. That's the best way I can explain a Yankees fan at a Yankees game.
That's a whole mouthful right there, because I already have an image in my head.
People at Walmart, let's go.
Yeah, I tell you my experience up in Yankee Stadium. I've been there twice. The first time they wouldn't let me in with my face paint, which I found out the reason why literally the day before, there was somebody who had face paint on who broke a chair, who created a big problem, and make a very long story short, they had me earmarked. They were not going to let me in with my face paint. And when I finally took it off, and the guy's like, "Listen, do me a favor, don't put it back on again." I'm like, "Listen, I don't carry it on me. There's no way for me to do that now.
I got a whole makeup kit right here. Let's go."
Yeah, and I'm like doing videos, and I got little girls, like 22-year-old girls going, "Hey, F the Phillies, F the Phillies," like in the middle of my video. I'm like,
I mean that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, like I said, they know who I am, though, so it's maybe done embellished a little bit. Yeah, I expect that you're going to get a good ribbing of trash can talk, and like I said, you just have to understand the vernacular in Yankee Stadium has a lot of the 7 curse words that you're not supposed to say.
Oh yeah.
And so you just, it's not meant to try to start an actual fight. It's just the way they talk. So you have to be prepared for that.
Like, I know the A word, I know that's kind of like commonplace. That's kind of like, hey, I'm going into this with the idea of like, okay, Jay, you're in a foreign place. These people, they have very harsh animosity towards trash cans and your team. So I already have it in my brain that I have to be able to take a good ribbon if I'm going to wear Astros gear in there. So I've already mentally got myself ready and prepared for it. I was just kind of curious from your perspective, since you just came out of that area or out of New York, what your experience was like. So I kind of have inkling of what to expect.
Rangers, well, hockey games are a lot different. And they know me through Mets games and stuff.
Right.
Like I like to do content where I go from here all the way up, taking like public transportation. So
Right.
like I'm doing video after video and busting the stones of New York fans on the way up, and they're busting them back, and we're doing a video. So it's like a small diary of
Right.
my travels. And well, in the process of that, like they all get it on their feeds, and they get it. They love that.
Yeah.
Because I can take it. You know what I mean? I know what I'm about to walk into, so I can expect to, get the F out of here and do this and do that. You can't. It's not the easiest.
I thought about that. Hold on. Joe, I thought about that. I thought about putting a big, like one of those big necklaces with a little trash can on it.
Oh, that
I
would
really
be
thought about
amazing,
doing that, but I didn't. I thought that might incite a riot. I fully expected when I go into Yankee Stadium that I'm gonna have probably 20,000 Donnas and maybe 5,000 Brads.
You know what? You need you need to get like the Lowe's bucket chain, right? Where it's all just iced out. Get that as a trash can. That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
And I have like a little mallet so I can act like I'm banging it.
100% needs the Astra logo in the middle of it. That'd be awesome.
I'm just scared I'll probably get my butt kicked. And I don't think Frankie's exactly going to protect me, even though it's his stopping
I
ground.
actually think a lot of people would laugh at that. If they saw that, they'd be like, okay,
Yeah. At least
Like,
he's got a good sense of humor about it,
if you clown on yourself before they can, it takes a lot of steam out of it.
Right. It's not as fun for
That's
them anymore than it's, well, we can't pick on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he knows this. Let me ask you this. How would you compare Philly fans to New York fans? Because I know Philly kind of gets a bad rap for being a rude fan base, but so does the Yankees. I mean, how would they compare?
No comparison. There really isn't a comparison there. Like when you walk into Citizens Bank Park, they don't let you curse at Citizens Bank Park. If somebody starts getting a little mouthy, then you're going to get an usher that comes down and says something to you. If you do it again, they're going to remove you. They don't play like that here. They said it's not acceptable as it is in New York. Like in New York, like I said, it's just the way they talk. So it's not it's not what they're looking for. They're trying to make sure that nobody's going to get, into a fight. And they have a lot of police and a lot of ushers and a lot of security around to make sure that happens. In Philly, it's not that. It's not like that at all. Now, this isn't an Eagles game. The Eagles and the Eagles fan and what happens in the tailgates and stuff like that bleeds over across everything. It's like that Philadelphia fan is exactly like that. It's nothing like that. Flyers games are so much, different. And right now, Flyers games, I feel like, is more of a corporate setting. They have priced out the normal fan in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, I should see that.
So it's you get guys who are real big fans, and then you have most of the corporations that do that. So there's very few altercations unless somebody else is causing it. Like it's usually the opposing fan who doesn't know how to banter. Like you can banter back and forth and it's fun. Like I can go anywhere and people know me, obviously. It's great to hear from New York fans all the time that come up to me and say, I hate Philly, but I follow you. You are awesome. I love your content, because they get it. They understand. I keep it on the field. It's all about the fun of being at the game and the passion of being there.
Yeah.
It was. But they, like I said, so I get lots of pictures with Rangers fans, and it's interesting because other Rangers fans see Rangers fans taking pictures with me, and they're like, who is this guy? If they don't know me, they start to follow me. I wound up just on Instagram, I wound up picking up probably about 35 to 40 followers.
Nice.
Because, like, because they see me out there. And then, of course, ESPN showed me on the screen, like on the television. They didn't show me there. You know what I mean? They're not going to show me on MSG's, the big screen there. But and everybody could see me. Like the one guy told me, he's like, I was all the way across the stadium and I could pick you out. You know what I mean? Because I look very unique, of course. You know what I mean? I look like a big orange blob. Right?
I'm about to say, do you think it was the safety orange that was giving you away? I mean,
it definitely had something to do with it. And that's what's part of the fun. Like I says, when I go up to Met Stadium, they all know that I'm going, and they all love to bust my chops, and that's the fun of that. Like that's what makes it great. That they know they can give me some business. I'm going to give it back to them, and ultimately, then they want to take a picture.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's what makes being a fan fun.
Absolutely. And I think we get away from that sometimes. The fun of being a fan and things like that.
Exactly. And it's like it's when the fans pull it off the field. When they're bantering back and forth, and then they don't have something to say, and then they start to attack somebody personally, and that's what starts the fights.
Yeah, if I don't have something to say, I'll be like, man, I ain't got nothing to say, man. You got me.
Listen, if somebody gets me good, I laugh at it. I might even say I might steal that. You know what I mean? It's like
I always love it when you get, when you're throwing barbs back and forth and they can keep it about the sports. Like that's fun. Like that is a really good time. When it starts getting super personal, you're just like, okay, you obviously have nothing left to say. I'm going to get out of here before this turns into something weird. And yeah. But if they drop something funny, it's awesome.
I mean, that's what was going on with the fireman. And he was telling a story to me how when he was in Philadelphia, and it was an incident in the men's room. You know what I mean? Where this guy was like talking about, hey, I think I'm going to do my business on you, and he's like, hey, listen, you can do your business on me, but this is going to go this way if you do that. And it got a little contentious, and then the guy was like, all right, I won't do that. So, but all night long now, him and I are having that conversation like I'm the guy who was going to do the business. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of funny how it worked out. But that's part of the fun, because now it's like that's what he thinks about Philly, and it's like, all right, well, we're gonna make this funny. It's no longer going to be something that was a little contentious. We're going to comedize this, or how.
Absolutely. And Donna and Frankie, that's why I gave up Modelo's and I drink Sam's Club soda. But you can also get a True Fusion Gym.
Yes,
while you're doing hot yoga.
Brought to you, and do not do any of that. Basically, if Jay is recommending it, don't do it. Want your life to be a little smoother and happier.
Well, you don't want to sweat out caffeine. It's beautiful.
Oh man, there's something wrong with you, dude.
You know that like caffeine is a big problem in this country now, just for like the amount of people that take caffeine. Because I was at the grocery store.
Hold on, Dustin. I just gave up Modelo's Don't take away my caffeine. Too.
Well,
That's all I
okay,
got
so
left.
I was just at the grocery store the other
As I
day.
sit here with my coffee, listening to this
Well,
conversation.
no, coffee's fine, but like I was at the grocery store the other day, and now they sell caffeinated milk. So there's chocolate milk with 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. There's white milk with 200 milligrams of caffeine in it, and there's strawberry milk that has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. I'm like, that's when you know we have a caffeine problem in this country, is when they're infusing it into milk.
Yeah, that seems unnecessary.
I don't know. I'm not a milk drinker because if I drink some milk, nobody can be around me for that day.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah,
Well, when I came
lactose
home yesterday,
intolerance.
I had a big tin like this, and I had it filled up with ice cream. I love ice cream floats. I don't know if y'all like ice cream floats, but I love those things. Like, they're beautiful. And so I took 2 of these and in a big tin filled up with ice cream, and it was the best damn Coke float I've ever had. It was delicious. I ain't gonna lie, it's
There you
delicious.
go.
I looked like a little kid, but it was delicious. Anyway, back to sports.
So here in Seattle, you can't walk 2 feet without there being a coffee shop.
Well, man, I mean, isn't that where Starbucks? Isn't that where you guys originated? Was in Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of makes sense. You guys love your coffee. On a
We
rainy
do.
day.
We do. Well, I mean,
No,
you got
they just love to pay a lot of money for their coffee.
Now there you go. That's what it is.
I don't buy coffee out for that same reason. There's no reason for my coffee to cost me $6 or $7. Like, that is so dumb. So it is extraordinarily rare for me to have coffee outside of my house.
Are you drinking Sanka?
Huh?
Are you drinking Sanka?
No.
Folger's Choice.
No,
Good
I
to
am
the
not.
last drop.
No, it's some Costco coffee. It's got a Jaguar on the front. I don't know.
Oh,
It's not chock full of nuts.
Is it the Columbia brand?
I don't even know what it's called. We just call it kitty coffee because it's got a Jaguar on the
Yeah,
front.
it's the Colombian. It's a Colombian blend, I think.
Yeah, it's a medium roast. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and Donna,
It's not the
yes,
Cafe
I love-
Luwak, right?
Donna says I'm like the little kid for Santa. Let me tell you something. I love Santa until one day when I was about in 4th grade and I peered around the corner and I saw it was my mom and dad doing it. I'm like, and I yelled out, "What a scam! I told you I wanted a Schwinn. How you give me a Huffy?" I'm sorry. And then they realized, go back to bed, Joe. We know you don't know Santa Claus is real. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
I feel like that just traveled all over the place. Like,
Hey, on basketball news, though, I saw Kneipel.
speaking of traveling,
No, seriously, I saw Kneipel just broke the rookie 3-point record.
Who? Who's
Kneipel, however you say that guy's name. Am I saying it wrong? I probably saying it wrong.
you guys have to talk at separate times so we can understand what you're saying.
I was talking. He interrupted.
It's Knipple.
Kneipel, whatever. I'm just saying, I really thought they would be flagged that would break a rookie record if anybody was going to do it. The fact that Kneipel did it, it was interestingly enough to me. And I know he's a good 3-point shooter, right?
He always was, yeah. But this, like, Cooper Flagg's going to win the Rookie of the Year because he has the better numbers. Like, if you look at, like, points per game wise, rebounds per game wise, all this, Cooper Flagg has the better numbers. But I realistically think that Cone Kneipel is the better player right now, and I think he's going to have the better NBA career. Because when he was drafted just because he was a 3-point shooter. But he has shown so much more than that, even over the last month and a half. Like, he's proven that he is more than just a 3-point shooter, and now obviously he sets the NBA rookie record for 3-pointers in a season, and he's still got 20 games left, so he's got a shot to get to 300 3-pointers this year.
That's crazy.
Not too many people even. I think there's only like 5 or 6 players in the NBA that have even hit 300 threes in a year, and he's going to do it as a rookie.
Yeah.
Now, I know this is way early of a prediction, but do you think that Kneipel could be as good as Steph Curry in terms of, do you think he could pass that if he's already hitting these types of benchmarks as a rookie? Is this just a fortune or a prediction of what's to come?
I think
at the end of his career?
I think he could, because you got to remember Curry didn't start playing till he was 22. Knippel's 19 in the NBA, so he's already got a 3-year head start on him because he only was in college for 1 year as opposed to Curry was there for 4. So, I mean, even if he – obviously I don't think he's going to average the same amount of 3-pointers by volume that Curry does, because Curry took like 11 or 12 threes per game at one point. Knippel's kind of around that 8 range. But even then, if you're taking less threes, but you're consistently making them, he's got a shot to pass Curry if he plays the way he does.
Hey, look, I said what I said it was, and Dustin said what he said it was. I don't know. You tell me how to say it.
KNUEPPEL.
Yeah, just because it happens to be right in front of me. And you guys are talking about 3-pointers, and I knew that last night Maxey overtook Allen Iverson as the franchise leader in 3-point field goals.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of those long-standing individual franchise ones will fall just because the game's played so different.
It is very different.
I mean, of course, those numbers are going to fall when it comes to 3-point because they focus on it so much more now than they did even, 10 years ago.
And I can't stand that. I really cannot stand that because you go and you drive the lane, and now the thing is, instead of going up for the layup,
you kick it out.
You kick it back out again. I can't stand that. Like, it's go finish the layup.
That was like the Division 3 game I was watching last night because they have the Division 3 conference tournaments right now. Between the two teams, they shot 91 3-pointers.
See, that's dumb. I don't want to see that.
They shot 31 non-3-point attempts, and they shot 91 3-pointers between the two teams. I'm like, wow, this is just a glorified 3-point contest. Everyone gets a turn.
Yeah, but that being said, they probably only shot 30% from the field, and the game was like 65-58.
It was 98-93.
Well,
I think
that goes back to what I was saying about Houston. That goes back to when Pags was asking me how I felt about Houston, the fact that they had fallen down a few spots. They just came off a 3-game skid. And I was telling you, they went 21% against Kansas. They went 24% at the 3-point line against Arizona. And when you're doing that low percentages, you're going to lose games. And I hate that, Pags, to your point and everybody else's point, that style of playing the game is what's ruining it. Because why not just get the damn 2-point? If that's 2 points versus a miss.
These teams live and die by the 3.
They
right?
do.
So, I mean, when they're hitting, you're putting up 120 points, right? And when they're not, you get blown out.
Yeah.
But they don't care because they seem to hit more often than they don't.
And whatever happened to the word adjustment? Why don't they make the adjustment? Hey, guys, our shot's not falling on the 3-point line tonight. Let's start getting more to the rim. Let's see if we can draw a foul and get the 3 the old-fashioned way. Whatever happened to making adjustments?
Because players aren't able to do that. That's what it comes down to. They're so used to shooting the ball from the outside, they don't have inside games. I tell you, as somebody that's what I'm saying. If this 7'9" monster can learn how to play inside, and he shoots from like 60 to 70% from near the paint, that guy's going to score like 35, 40 points a game.
Right.
That's like Victor Wembanyama too, though. Like Victor Wembanyama at 7'5", 7'6", should be scoring 35, 40 points a game because he's so tall, but half of his shots come behind the 3-point line too because he's like, this is how we play now. I'm just gonna stand out here and pop it.
I mean, the other thing is if the other team is hitting, you do have to try and keep pace.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, basketball is a game of runs, right? So yeah, maybe you weren't hitting, but it just takes that next shot to get it going. It's like a degenerate gambler, right? You're like, no, I'm going to win the next time. I'm jacking up threes. They're like, this next one's going to hit, and then I'm going to go on a run. And the problem is in basketball, you watch runs happen all the time during the same game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's not like there's even flawed thinking in it because it happens every single game. It's just when they never land, then you lose by 30. And we've watched Golden State do it. One of the best teams shooting the 3, just have an off night where nothing lands, and then they get blown out by 35.
My thing is, if you do have good handles and you are able to take the ball to the rim, to your point, if they're hot and they're shooting the 3 ball, but you know what? If I'm going to the rim and I'm drawing fouls on these guys, guess what? Those guys, the same guys that are shooting those 3s, they're going to be on the bench because they're in foul trouble. I mean, there's a strategy that I feel like, and we all know this is a strategy that's gone because you used to be able to go drive the lane, get the foul, get this guy into foul trouble, and then it's free carte blanche. But we don't even get guys in foul trouble really anymore because, like you said, Bo, we hit the damn 3-pointer.
Well, It's hard to foul somebody when they're jacking it up from the logo.
I mean, you're right. I mean, it is.
And guys are soft.
Yeah.
Guys are soft. It's there's no more Allen Iversons.
No.
Yeah.
You know, where Allen would go in there and take him on the arm and stuff like that. It's just like he used to get crushed all the time. And like just like he was, first off, he's only like 5'10" and a half. You know what I mean? And he'd go run in there and smack on the arm, smack on the arm, smack on the arm, and get it up and get in, make the basket. You know what I mean? That's what he was really good at like bustling through that. There's nobody who does that anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't. They're right. They're not there.
And
It's like
Shaq, same way. That's
Yeah.
why Shaq couldn't. At the end of Shaq's career, he wasn't able to play. Like he was just still in the league, but he wasn't able to play anymore because he was just leaned on so much, so often. You know, it was like I remember in 2001 when they were playing the Sixers and we had Olajuwon, you know, up against him. And I'll never forget it. Like Shaq is trying to back down in the paint, and Olajuwon's chest is on Shaq's back, and his legs are spread out, trying to stop Shaq. Like that, it's like his arms are like this, but his chest is on Shaq's back.
Yeah.
And Shaq still backed him down.
Yeah. I mean,
Still was able to bust through it. You don't have that play of
Shaq-
basketball anymore.
Shaq was a monster too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to have a guy who weighs dang near 400 pounds not back you down. I mean, that's hard. But you know what? You know what I love about Olajuwon's game, which is very indicative of that time period that we're talking about. Because if that would have been anybody else in today's game, they would have just flopped and called it good.
I mean, but look
Oh,
at
for sure.
Dwight Howard. Look at Dwight Howard though. Dwight Howard, you can make a case, was the last kind of old school NBA center that was drafted, because he was kind of that last center that would just kind of live in the paint, get the rebounds, go for the putbacks and everything, and then you started to see the stretch centers get drafted after that, and now that's all you see getting drafted are like the centers that can shoot 3-pointers. That's why even if Dwight Howard was still young enough to play in this league, he wouldn't nearly be as effective as he once was, because centers aren't using the paint like they should be.
Well, and let's be honest. When it comes to Shaq, he didn't want the foul called anyway because he was going to miss those free throws.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you know, with the current way that Holmgren is built and the way that Wemby is built, if they were in the paint going against Shaq, those dudes would get annihilated. I mean, like
Wemby would be hit
I
back
don't
to
think
half
that
court.
physically they would get killed.
Shaq would hit Wemby back to half court with a box out if Wemby tried to box.
I'm just saying. I think we're breaking bones. I think we're crushing organs and breaking bones. I think you physically have to take them off the court.
I mean, I don't think it's quite that bad, but
I'm just saying. I don't know. Because
Yeah,
Holmgren got injured when he first came.
80s and 90s players going up against teams today, I think, would dominate. And the reason I say that I think that they would dominate is because it would be so easy for them to get in and make those baskets. Like the way that fouls are called now, they would be at the line. They'd be shooting 50 foul shots a game.
Yeah,
Because
Jordan
the way that they play. Like, think about the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, Michael
Think
Jordan
about
especially.
They would be killing teams because they would be getting more points from the foul line.
Yep.
And 3-point plays, like the old 3-point plays, rather than shoot, because ultimately nobody's stopping them in the paint.
Yeah.
They don't have the girth really to stop anybody in the paint.
It's like what you were just saying about the Pistons. I mean, look at how Michael Jordan took so many shots when he used to play the Pistons in the 90s. Like, he would drive the lane and practically get tackled midair every single time he would drive the lane, and half the time they called fouls, half the time they didn't call fouls. Like, now Michael Jordan's getting to the free throw line probably 30 times a game because of the way he just played, and then he's probably making 25 to 25, 26 free throws, and then plus the rest of his game. He'd be probably averaging 40-plus points a game in today's NBA.
I mean, I think if you, like you said, to Pags' point, if you take those players from then and put them now, they would have so many more advantages. Number one, they don't play defense now, but they play defense then. So I think defensively they would be dominant. And I think two, you're right. They can hit free throws. They can go to the inside. But the biggest thing is they can make adjustments no matter what it is you're doing. They will make those adjustments. And like you said, Bo, they don't do that anymore. They don't make the adjustments. They just hit the 3-point. So when you're very one-dimensional like that and you don't play defense, it's very hard to stop a multi-tool person when all you have is one thing. That's why I feel like they get crushed.
Well, and like I said, when they drive the lane, they'd finish the layup.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't kick it back out. Like that kick out is something it's from 2010 on. That's when the kick out came out. I mean, Latrell Sprewell, he was in the 21st century here. And like I think about him choking out his coach was because he wasn't kicking it out, because he would drive the lane and they wanted him to kick it out. That was part of what caused that whole fight between him and his coach. You know what I mean? And you think about that. That's he didn't want to play that way. That's not the way you play basketball. He was a street basketball player.
Yeah.
You can't play street basketball anymore in this NBA.
No. Now it's just
now
it's AAU, just run and gun pop threes. That's what it is.
But and how many times, I don't know, what frustrated me was how many times did you see a guy flop and they went to do the replay, that man's hand was not even nowhere near his face or his body or anything. There was like a physical space of gap and they're still falling down. Like you can't even breathe or move in the NBA. I don't know, it's crazy to me.
I mean, look at Dennis Rodman, for example. How long do you think he would last in today's NBA? The guy would be fouled out in probably 5 minutes. For some of the stuff that he did back in the 90s, and just how physical he played, he'd be fouled out in 5 minutes because he couldn't do anything. And like Rodman,
Bill Laimbeer wouldn't even make it to the court.
Like
he get fouled in another dressing room.
And then you think about it, like it's who's the guy, Draymond Green?
Draymond Green.
I mean, he's the one that they talk about that plays very similar to Rodman.
Yeah.
Well, he would be, I guess, what Rodman would have to evolve into.
Right.
Yes.
You know, which is still no good. Like it's like that's not a real player anymore. Like I said, basketball is so different than the way it was before. If you are on a guy like defensively, like all you got to do is just kind of be near him at the 3-point line and they're going to likely miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like you don't even have like defenses. It used to be if you were a tall guy, all you got to do is put your hands up in front of the guy and just and that's all you would need to do.
Just do jumping jacks.
Now they don't even do that.
Just do jumping jacks in front of a shooter. Get like within like 6 inches of the shooter, start doing your own jumping jacks, force them to shoot, they'll miss.
See, you can't do that though, because if they think they might land on your foot, you're still getting a foul.
You got to give them that space.
You gotta give them an open look from 3. Like that's really what it is at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. Like that whole Trae Young rule where he was, I'm going to shoot and run into you, and you're going to get the foul.
I mean, that was Harden. Harden was that, right? Like he'd do that step back and then kick his leg out to get the foul. I mean, he led the league in fouls half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still disappeared in the playoffs, so I guess it didn't work out too well for him.
Which is the problem with basketball. That's the problem I have with basketball as a total. Like it's no longer it's the inmates that run the asylum. It's their game, and you know they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
This segment brought to you by Charmin Ultra Soft.
Exactly.
But the reply, not one.
It's the rippled tear edge. That's the difference. That's the difference. Yes. Because we're always evolving toilet paper for some reason.
Oh my God.
And you're right. Basketball has become sad. It is pretty rough. The NFL is still a long way from being NBA soft.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you can't really do in today's NFL that you could do back then is just pretty much go over the middle and lay somebody up.
Yeah, you can't lead with your helmet and try
Right.
and remove someone's soul from
And
their
then you
body.
ju-
Like,
and then
you're
you
not
just-
allowed to do that.
And you can't crush the quarterback anymore like you used to be able to. I mean,
No.
the NFL, like those are the only two things in today's NFL that you really can't do like you used to be able to do. But outside of that, like you can still hit people hard in the NFL, and they're not going to throw a flag unless it's like you said, leading with a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. It's one play. Like it's not what it once was, but
It's not the Vontae Burset days anymore, where he can just go over and just tee off on somebody over the middle.
Yeah, that guy was crazy.
I mean, that's just how the game was played back
Yeah,
then.
no,
You just
yeah.
went and laid somebody out. So, but no, I mean, basketball has gotten the flopping down to be in soccer. Like that. That's why it's tough to watch, because I can't watch soccer either for that exact reason. I mean, obviously the tie thing makes me mad, but when you see somebody like barely brush into you and then you're rolling around on the ground holding your knee, just come on. Like, what are we doing?
Dude got a little grass stain. He's hurting his pants.
Hey, that makes me want them to actually hard foul you. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm getting a card either way. I'm going to tee off on this dude.
You don't need shin guards. Shin guards aren't necessary in soccer anymore. You're good.
Hey, I mean, we were talking about fighting yesterday, right? So this is a great, parallel to that is I had somebody get me in trouble for hitting them, and I didn't, but I was getting suspended anyway. So I walked through their class and lit them up. And I was like, I'm already suspended, so who cares?
Joey, I'm going home. I got suspended. Come here, Joey.
They weren't interested in hearing my side of the story, and so I was like, well, if I'm leaving for getting in a fight, I might as well get in one.
What is it? If you're gonna go out big, right?
Hey, I was already done.
At least like a while back for the Sounders though, Bo, you had Clint Dempsey. Like Clint Dempsey wasn't one of those guys that was going to flop. Like he was going to make sure that if he was going to commit the foul, you were going to feel it.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the Sounders actually don't do a lot of it. Like there is some of it around the league, but the Sounders don't have a big history of flopping.
Just Montero.
Yeah, but I mean, as a team, like over the course of their history, like they're actually one of the teams that kind of doesn't do that a ton. So if there was a team that I was going to, again, soccer, meh, but at least it's local to have a team that flops less.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question. Styles, if I can, real quick about the combine. I watched some of that combine yesterday. I watched Styles go at it. And that guy's his combine. Now, I know combine is a combine. We can't get too invested in it, but he really did have a very impressive showing at the combine. And I'm wondering how that's going to affect his draft stats, like how much he'll move up in the draft board after that showing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the combine and pro days. They can help. I think they help more than they should is the problem. It's like, okay, great. With no defense and no pads, you were fast. Cool.
Yeah.
No, you know how you're never going to play a single snap in the NFL? Oh, without pads and no defense. Like, what are we doing?
I'll tell you one person that's going to see his draft stock go up is that guy from Texas Tech, that David Bailey.
Yeah, I just was watching it a little
He was
bit.
like a late first round, early second round pick heading into the combine. I think he's like a 265, 270 pound edge rusher, and he runs a 4.5 140 yesterday. If that guy's chasing a quarterback down and he's running a 4.5 140 at about 270 pounds, his draft stock is going to go significantly up just because he's going to outrun pretty much everybody on the field. It's a D lineman.
Yeah, there was another one that ran like what was it? It was a 4. It was just under a 5, and as a 313-pound interior defensive lineman, I'm like, man.
Which is good because if the Cowboys don't want to take their picks and move up to maybe get Bain out of Miami, then this guy Bailey, like, because I saw him too. And that's another thought I had. Man, they could actually stay at they are at 12 or 20 and get Bailey. And like I said, that would be a very good pass rusher because they need a guy like that. That can get to the quarterback quickly and has weight to him. So that might even be a good spot. I think, Bo, you were saying that maybe the Cowboys don't need to draft up. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or
well, yeah. I mean, you don't need to move up. Like there's guys like you can get talent at the positions you guys are already at. So there's no reason to get rid of draft picks for no reason, unless there's just someone on your draft board. You're like, I have to have that guy. But there's enough talent in the trenches in the first round that there's really not a need for it.
Yeah,
right.
That Bailey had 15 sacks for Texas Tech last year. I mean, 4.5, 140 at that kind of size. You're coming off a 15 sack season. Like, he's going to be, as long as he can show that he's got a lot of strength, like when they get to the weights and things like that, he'll be a guy that I think goes from like late first round to even top 10 just because of his combine skill set. When you have that kind of raw talent at that size, someone's going to reach for you and be like, you know what? We're going to put you on our system, and we're just going to let you put your hands in the ground and run after the QB. Go get him.
Yeah, right. I mean, speed is definitely something that can move you up, because if it's a technique issue, in theory, you should be able to coach that up. Mm-hmm. Not that the NFL is great at developing talent anymore, but, that is the way you look at it as a coach, right? You're like, okay, well, you can't teach speed, but you can teach everything else.
Right. Same thing with strength. I mean, if you have a good conditioning program, you should be able to put muscle on where you need to put muscle on. Those are things I think are achievable throughout spring training or what have you, what have you. So,
but it can't just be muscle. Like, you have to keep a certain level of muscle and fat.
Yeah, for sure.
Lane Johnson is actually the perfect example of that. Lane Johnson is becoming into a bodybuilder rather than a football player because he works so much with the weights, and he's so strong now. Like, he's a monster, and he's a beast in terms of strength. Mm-hmm. But the fat's gone. Right. So, and the fat's what lubricates everything. It allows you to move. When you start to get like a lower fat body index, like when you want to have some of that so that you are agile. When it's all muscle, you get more injuries, and that's part of some of the issue that's occurring. And I've learned this through a couple of trainers. Now, I don't train at all, but I have some friends who are trainers, and they train athletes that are no longer in the league.
Yeah.
And he was explaining to me, he's like, listen, he's like, you see some of these guys and you see them hold extra weight and they have this fat on them and they kind of look fat. It's not that they're fat. They've got the six packs underneath all that.
Yeah, right.
But the fat is like he says, it's like the lubricant. It allows everything to move right and gives a little bit of play to the muscle so that it, and like I said, the muscle can contort a little bit,
right,
and still go back to where it was because it had that flexibility in that play. When you take the fat out of there and you have, like I said, like a 3% fat body index, you don't have that play anymore, and it starts to affect the way that your muscles can move, and that's where some of these injuries occur.
I got the fix for you. You just send Lane down to New Orleans and put him under the Zion Williamson eating plan, and he'll have fat on him, no problem. No problem.
You don't even have to send him down there. I mean, that could be a weekend.
That man has no problem putting on weight with all them beignets.
But, I mean, didn't you hear what happened to him? Like I think it was his second year in the NBA when Doritos was his sponsor.
No.
They said he put on like 40 pounds of fat because he was eating 25 bags of Doritos a day because Doritos was giving him free Doritos for a year for being their spokesperson. I'm like, well, that's a good way to not have a great NBA health regimen right there. Just give me unlimited Doritos, and that's what I'm going to eat for my snack.
Put me in, coach. I got 4 more Doritos, but I'm ready to go.
They were talking about the same thing with what's his face from the Sixers? Oh my God.
I mean, Eddie Lacy was also that guy.
Not Doritos. It was Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
That he was buying like $800 to $1,000 worth of Chick-fil-A food for the team on the bus, and he'd eat like $200 worth of Chick-fil-A himself. You know what I mean? I understand these guys are big boys and they get hungry. You know what I mean? But Chick-fil-A is not the most healthy of foods either.
No, like the same thing with Zion too. Like he would be drinking I thought they said that he would drink 12 bottles of Mountain Dew a day with like the Doritos. I'm like, that is a great diet to have. Just because they're giving you all this free stuff does not mean you can go overboard and have all that.
Well, Doritos are like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. And then you got that with Mountain Dew, which is not going to help your cause either.
Yeah, which is also radioactive. So yeah, no, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie to you though, it really is easy to pound down a 2-liter of Mountain Dew if you're not careful, especially when you got pizza with it. Oh, you can knock it out.
I can't stand the taste of Mountain Dew. I'm
Really?
not a Mountain Dew fan.
yeah, I'm not a Mountain Dew fan either.
And you either like it or you hate it. And you know, Mountain Dew was originally made as a mixer to whiskey.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That's what it was originally intended for. And
Wow.
then instead they added a lot more sugar to it, and they said it's do the do.
And it kind of makes sense because there are Mountain Dews. I know when I've been in the convenience stores, there are Mountain Dews now that have alcohol in them that you could purchase with alcohol already in it.
The Spike Dews.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Spark or whatever it's called.
Yeah, well, I
Yep.
mean, you can buy the ready-made rum and cokes and stuff too. Like, there's versions of it for quite a few different soft drinks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Mountain Dew was never, like I said, I can't do that. I'm like, sodas are funny for me. Like I used to be like I can do like the clear sodas, but I can't do like I can do Sprite. I can maybe do 7-Up, maybe a ginger ale. You know what I mean? But I am no longer like I can't do Cokes and Pepsis like that. Dr. Pepper, I can do Dr. Peppers, but I actually prefer Dr. Pepper warm. Like if I'm not feeling well, a hot Dr. Pepper is a good
Didn't know that.
Jolt. There we go.
jolt. All the sugar and twice the caffeine.
Yeah, Jolt was something else. Jolt was something else. That and the other one that was nasty because it was like the high caffeine version of Mountain Dew was Surge.
Surge.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Donna, I'm also a
Yeah.
Pepsi fan. Pepsi and Dr. Pepper, those are my. If I'm having one, that's my go-to.
I
Surge.
can't
was-
do Pepsi.
I guarantee if you took an X-ray on Surge, it would come back with so much radiation on that crap. from
Oh,
all the
yeah,
stuff
I mean-
in Surge. Holy moly!
Surge and Mountain Dew both light up under black light. It's
So, like,
like,
well, when you
Oh, this is
poured like
good.
Surge out of the can, though, like it literally looked like you were pouring radioactive ooze out of the can. Like Mountain Dew at least had a little bit more yellow to it. Surge was just like a bright green. Like, ugh.
yeah, like it was cool coming out. Yeah, no, I remember it.
So as we're talking about soft drinks and stuff like that, do check out the reports on bottled water.
Oh, it's
Do
awful.
not get any bottled water that is made from Coca-Cola. You are
Okay.
drinking an actual listed percentage of plastic.
Yeah.
And like it's
Not only that, but the pH of the Coca-Cola ones are like you're drinking the most acidic water, period. Like
right,
it is
including like the smart waters that are supposed to be pH balanced to be alkaline, and they're not. Like it's all a hoax about that stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy though that it's supposed to be smart water when it really is dumb water.
So the thing that's funny is it is the better of their waters.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
wrong with you,
Dasani,
Tarka? I mean,
don't drink a
Tarka.
Dasani at all. You are getting like all water that's put in a plastic bottle is going to have the microplastics in it. It's just part of what happens. You know what I mean? And
Right.
your intake on a natural level, if you're drinking any water or soda or anything in any capacity, even out of aluminum cans, you are getting some microplastics put into your body.
Sure.
So it's just inevitable. Like even the aluminum cans are lined with a plastic liner. So you're getting all of that. You take in probably like 0.005% of plastics a day. Drinking one of those waters, like a Dasani water, levels that up to like twice as much. You're now in like you're taking a 0.1%
Right.
of plastics into your body. It's like I drink, you know, it's probably from Dasani too. Like who knows? I drink like the Walmart water. You know,
That's what I do. I drink Kroger water. Sometimes I drink
Yeah,
those Darka, but
those are bottled by the major companies.
Coke or Pepsi or one of them. It's like they're all the same. They're all exactly the same. It used to be Nestle. Remember Nestle?
There are some
Yeah.
waters out there that are actually not bad, that are actually list on the alkaline side of the scale. They cost way more,
Right.
but there are some out there.
all
Right,
healthy
but definitely
stuff
do
does.
that research. It's worthwhile to hear about. And it's like, as I'm trying to figure out like the better things to put in my body.
I'll tell you this, Pags. Waters like you're talking about, those are not really that concerning to me. But if anybody ever had time eating MREs in the military, I don't know what that gelatin stuff that they use to preserve the food. But when you can have what's weird about when you can have a box of MREs in a container for like 3 years, and then they come out of that and they're still you can still eat them.
Yep.
That might not be exactly healthy.
Hey, when you get an MRE from 50 years ago and you open it and you can still eat it, like there's something to be said for that. I mean, there was a reason why they were able to do that kind of stuff. And listen, the preservatives back then were actually better for you. So they preserve food the right way. Then it's the chemical based. It's all the petroleum that they put into stuff now that's causing these issues.
Well, they also weren't worried about you getting cancer because you were an expendable product. They're like, we're just gonna keep you alive.
Expendable.
As soon as you're like, I'm gonna come, they're like, cool. Cash. Like,
You're good.
yeah, I mean, so they were less worried about the after effects.
They're like, would you please stop griping and complaining? We gave you a free cemetery plot at Arlington. You get free burial. Leave us alone.
Pretty much. Yeah. The film on spam and stuff, that is, also super nasty.
Yeah. But
I've never had spam.
Yeah, you're not missing out. Yeah. It's funny though, because if you go to Hawaii, like spam is a big thing in Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah.
And always has been. I mean, they actually find ways to make it taste good. Like if you go there, you have to try some of their stuff.
Well, they use spam like we do Scrapple.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Scrapple's a big thing in Philadelphia. It's not really big anywhere else, which is surprising to me.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, Scrapple is like it's the scraps of everything that's the pork, beef, chicken, and stuff.
Like sausage that isn't encased.
Yeah, it's not, and they grind it up, they mash it all together, and they make it in like a spam loaf, and then they slice it off, and you cook it up, and it's like bacon.
Huh.
It's. I'm not a Scrapple fan, but it's a big deal here. And like, if you were to come to Philly, I would say try the Scrapple, and you got to cook it up, and you make it a little crispy, and it's yum. Like it tastes like bacon.
Well, so it's almost like I guess you'd eat with maybe like eggs, maybe like Scrapple and eggs.
Yes, 100%.
And apparently a Mountain Dew. All right, that does get us to the top of the show. We appreciate everybody coming in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Other than that, we will see you at a new time, Monday morning, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.